Well, it's June, the auction's over, and a little follow-up video. We have a new buyer of the boat. If you were following on the website, you know that $82,000 purchase price. Good for new owner Greg, less than ideal for us, but that's what happens when you use something for training. You can't make money on refitting old boats. We're still super excited to hear about his plans. Keep an eye out. In a couple of weeks we'll do a video with Greg and all of his plans, but we're still finishing up with what we promised, and that is bringing the batteries online and finishing up other little details for the engine to run and bilge pumps and safety gear, you know, final testing of equipment that we have installed. And so here's a quick glimpse of that work that happened over the last week or so. The Scallywags are getting ready to take final exams next week and their ABYC certifications and wrapping this up. So it's kind of an exciting time of year for us. This is when us instructors are actually going to get a break. Some stuff you might be wondering, what else we got to do to this boat? We got to make a comprehensive punch list for the new owner. And so things that we didn't get done, like down here, probably want to secure the bottom of the mast boot. And we have two exit guides that didn't get installed on the boom. And down in the lazarette, there's a few little details like putting the rudder post extension on for emergency tiller. We have to plug the hot and cold water right here for the shower box, things like that. But we're getting as many details done as we can. We did get the field installed termination on the NMEA 2000 backbone that goes up through the pedestal, which is huge. So Greg can pick out his electronics suite, have it installed. We got this team be mounted up underneath here, and that's for rudder angle indicator, autopilot, other things you may have. So we've got 3 of these very expensive 4-plex T's. We're gonna add equipment. We got one here. We got one up near the distribution wall and the engine for engine data, multifunction displays, and we've got one, of course, in the nav area. So the backbone is set up, and these little details take time. I think Tyler did this one, but thank you. We're trying to get as many of these done this week as we can.
The Scallywags, located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, where Skagit Valley College has been training technicians since 1968. If you are looking for industry certification and the skills to work in maritime, this is the place to visit. Our staff will share so much knowledge and experience, you will not be disappointed. The workforce demand is very high, and all of our graduates are working around the world. If this sounds interesting to you, schedule a tour and come check us out.
So down here, Greg, new owner, is going to appreciate the fuel system. We've got our stripping port. We did a couple of A adapters and some P clamps and tied it down. We have an outboard motor fuel primer bulb, which of course is not rated technically for diesel, but diesel is less offensive than gasoline. And this whole system, you have it shut off, really lives outside of the fuel area here. And it's going to make a nice system. So it's going to probably take a little bit the first time to get it primed, but this goes to the very bottom of that tank. And when we open the valve, we should be able to just do a little bit of priming here. And before we do an ocean passage, or I would say twice a year, you're going to want to do this. Okay, now I used a little tiny container here because we got brand new fuel. I'd be using a liter bottle or something with a top on it, of course, that you can pull your sample. But you pull your fuel out and then let it sit. And of course, if you have any water, contaminants, anything that's going to show up,
The Italian dressing will be waiting at the bottom.
the Italian dressing. And so, just like that, perfect fuel system. Okay, one of the things we're still sorting out, and we've been asked, is when you have this centerline sink and yet it needs to tip down once or twice a year for long-term maintenance, what do you do? Well, the hot and cold water will be easy. You just turn off the 2 valves and disconnect the hoses. For the sink drain, we came up with this gator lock here, and you can just disconnect it, a little cam lock, which is going to be great. But then what do? How do we get the dishwater out of the sink? And so we came up with the idea we're going to use a gulper pump, and instead of going over the side, we have an existing 3/4 inch through hull that's not being used for anything. So we don't want to drill a bigger hole. We think that it's just dishwater and whatnot, that a 3/4 inch discharge should be just fine. So we need to adapt from the 1.5 inch, which will come off from the drain, into a 3/4 inch, and we're going to go up and find a place to mount this in the boat. So we got one of these adapters, these universals, that steps down, so we can go quite easily from 1.5 inch to 3/4, and so that will fit right here onto our sink drain, and this will then get adapted to 3/4 through the gulper pump overboard. Like everything, this is kind of unproven. It's in the middle of the boat. I think it'll work great. If not, at the end of the day, all you'd have to do is take out the gulper pump, and you could actually go above waterline. You wouldn't have to haul the boat, and you could actually do a T-series discharge pump with 1.5 inch overboard. But we just think that's total overkill for just doing your dishes and stuff, that routine stuff in the galley. Okay, Art and student Johnny went through and have wired up our wake speed, got the extra stuff out of the way. We don't need battery temperature because we're getting that information on the CAN bus from Victron. But we got all the other connections made, and back here's where it's getting powered up. So doing the final 2 fuses, some OCP, and we're looking for one more communications cable, and I think we're going to be ready. We've got all of our BMS wired up. We're going to bring these batteries online. Back in here in the nav area, we've got the Serbo GX just about online, but we've got all of the distribution. We're working on our breakers and circuits they're labeled. We got lighting loads and house loads and ground bars and stuff like that. We're still teasing out a couple more of these, but the backbone of all the electrical is ready for testing in the next week or so. Okay, there's that pump I was talking about earlier in the table, and we back up a little bit here, keep the water below all the electricity, but that through hull right there is 3/4 inch, and it's pointing that direction. So we're going to bring the sink drain through the hole into the gulper, out of the gulper, around by the water lift muffler, and down to the through hull. Should work great. And then if you ever have to service this, it's right here. You can take the screw loose, pull the head off, and work on the check valves or clean it up. Going to be a really nice little install. One of the fun parts about all new electrical, seeing it come together and doing the details like putting on labels. You know, you buy a new panel, it comes with all the proper labels. As everything gets hooked up, we're labeling it both on the front and behind the scenes. All the wiring, as best as we could, has, you know, heat shrink labels, identification, and that is going to make future work on the boat a real delight. Most old boats do not have any identifying marks when you go back to troubleshooting or adding additional electrical. Okay, we got Randy here with the pneumatic. Wish we had this earlier. Boom. We've got our isolation in there, stainless rivets, and check that off the list. The exit guides for the lines and the boom are done. Thanks for watching.